deadly disease is fake news that sees the Justice Department as simply an extension and an arm of the personal concerns of the president, that actively promotes division and considers some people in this country more real as Americans than others. That we haven't seen out of a White House in a very long time. And the good news, what makes me optimistic, is the fact that there is a great awakening going on around the country, particularly among younger people who are saying not only are they fed up with the shambolic, disorganized, mean-spirited approach to governance that we've seen over the last couple of years, but more than that, are eager to take on some of the core challenges that have been facing this country for centuries, that are willing to demand an honest accounting of how we think about race in this country, that are insisting that issues like climate change can no longer be ignored or just addressed along the edges, that are demanding that we create an economy that works for all people and not just some, and recognizes that in order for us to actually deliver on the American promise, we can't just tinker around the edges, that we've got to take some big, more structural steps to ensure that everybody's getting a good education, and that if you're willing to work, you can find a job, and that that job pays a decent wage, and that nobody in the midst of a pandemic should be wondering whether or not they can afford health care. And so that sense of urgency is the thing that is making me optimistic. And it is then joined with the fact that we've got somebody who was with me every step of the way during the battles and challenges that we had during my administration. Not just a friend, but somebody who was a critical advisor, somebody who understood the issues and understood how they affected ordinary people. And that's Joe Biden. I have said this before, and I will say it again. This is somebody who knows what it's like to see in his own family economic hardship and a father losing a job and suddenly having to confront talking to his kid and maybe not being able to do everything for his family that he wanted to at certain stages, and the pain that that feels. That this is somebody who has been touched by tragedy in a direct, profound way, and as a consequence, enlarged his heart to embrace other people who are undergoing tragedy. This is somebody who, throughout his career, has shown that he's in it for the right reasons, who didn't get involved in politics to get rich or to hobnob with lobbyists, but was most comfortable with working people and people who are in the middle class or aspiring to the middle class, and asking them and listening to them, how can I help? And having him with me when we were getting the Recovery Act passed and we were getting the Affordable Care Act passed and dealing with issues like H1N1 that we feared could be a pandemic if it wasn't handled properly, and the Ebola crisis, somebody who understands the value of having the best people who actually know what they're doing and understand how to organize both the public and the private sector around solving problems. And somebody who in an America in which every kid should get a real shot, and that nobody's higher or lower than you, because everybody is endowed with not just certain inalienable rights, but also a core dignity that is the essence of the American community. That is Joe Biden. And so, I'll be honest, and hopefully Joe doesn't take offense by this. Joe's been around for a while. And sometimes what happens is we take that for granted. And there's a tendency always to look at, for the new and shiny object. But for my money, one of the things that counts the most is, has somebody, whatever mistakes they've made or whatever hardships they've gone through, have they been tested to have the kind of character that stands up, that is there when you need them, and that is going to be guided by the kinds of values and honesty and generosity that won't buckle when the going gets tough. And my experience with Joe Biden is that's who he is. And that's what we need right now. So bottom line is, I appreciate all of you being on this call, but man, this is serious business. Whatever you've done so far is not enough. And I hold myself and Michelle and our kids to that same standard. Whatever it is that we've done so far to help Joe Biden get elected, we have to do more. And there is no disconnect between the urgency of this election in the political moment and what has been happening on the streets and what we've been seeing on the TV screens. We have this unique chance to translate a growing awareness of injustice in this society into actual legislation and institutional change that can make a difference in people's lives. And those moments don't come that often, because generally we're too busy with our own lives and we're too focused on all the distractions, some worthy and some not so worthy, that modern life provides. This is one of those times when we know what's at stake and we know we can do better. And if that's the case, then it is now the time for us to step up. And I'm hoping that your presence on this call isn't the end of your involvement. I'm hoping this is the beginning, because we sure as heck got a lot of work to do. Let's take some questions.
Hi, my name is Blake and I'm from Maple Glen, Pennsylvania. This is my question. In these challenging times,